What's happening, guys? Welcome to the basement. Today we're talking about a very important series that went on to inspire the Marvel Universe as a whole. We're talking about before there was Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Incredible Hulk. There was a team of superheroes back in 1961 that really set the ball rolling for the rest of them. And that team was called the Fantastic Four. And right here we have Omnibus number 1, so let's check it out. Kicking it off now, we have a nice introduction page of issue 3, written by the legendary Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, co-created by Lee and Kirby as well. This is a very straightforward omnibus in terms of the content, collecting issues number 1 to 30 and annual number 1. We have a nice foreword here by Stan Lee himself. Now, if you're not familiar with this superhero team, let's quickly run through each member now. We have Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic. His superhero ability involves being able to stretch his body for multiple beneficial purposes, besides being a super smart scientist. Next, we have Sue Storm, also known as the Invisible Girl, with the power to turn herself invisible, turn other objects and people invisible, as well as the ability to create a force shield or barrier for protection. Next, we have her younger brother, Johnny Storm, also known as the Human Torch. He can set his whole body on fire, hurl fireballs and shoot other fire-related projectiles, and fly. Finally, we have Ben Grimm, also known as the Thing, a rock monster who is in playful conflict, usually with Johnny, and has incredible brute strength. Reed is the smart one, Susan is the somewhat shy, not so confident one, Johnny is an enthusiastic youth, and Ben is just the comic relief of the group with a strong personality. Now, they acquire their powers during a ride on a rocket ship in space where they get bombarded by cosmic rays. But enough backstory. Now, having read primarily late 1980s to mid 1990s issues of the Fantastic Four growing up, I never realized some interesting facts about this group that were revealed in this book here. First off, this book is very much a product of its time, with its speech, slang, clothing, hairstyles, what was happening politically and in the news during the early 1960s America, which involved a distrust with Russia, communism, and the space race with Russia as well. In fact, the main reason they go off into space in the first place has to do with not falling behind in the space race with Russia regarding the moon landing. Never knew that. Very interesting. Other things I didn't know was that each member carries a signal gun, which can alert each member if they're in danger. It's like a smoke gun that shoots a cloud into the air with the Fantastic Four logo in it. Overall, most of these stories are pretty damn good, with maybe 80% being hits and 20% being misses. At least for me anyway. We have some really great villains that appear here, like the Submariner, the Mole Man, Dr. Doom, the Puppet Master, the Hulk, the Molecule Man, and many more, including a strange and interesting villain known as the Hate Monger, who is trying to spread mass human hatred between one another, including racism, violence, and his costume is very KKK inspired, I would have to say. Dr. Doom and the Submariner are repeated a lot during this book, but that's okay because a lot of their storylines are actually the best. Submariner gets a prime role in annual number 1. I prefer Dr. Doom. I thought they would have chose him for the first annual personally. We get some supporting characters as well, such as the Avengers, the Watcher, and Alyssa, Ben Grimm's blind girlfriend, who makes a first appearance in this book. An overall stellar book here, and you can see why superheroes really got very popular after the release of the Fantastic Four. Some great writing by Mr. Stan Lee and wonderful art by the legend Jack Kirby, a must-read for you Marvel fans. If you look at some Marvel superhero character timelines, you'll see the Fantastic Four debuted in 1961, and after that, 2 to 4 years later, you get Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, the X-Men, giants in the industry that are very relevant today. My only complaint that I could find is that the amount of dialogue on each page can really be overwhelming at times, and can sometimes feel like a chore to read. But that's how comics were back then. Lots of dialogue, 6 to 9 panels per page. Rarely you'll find artwork that takes up a full page or even half a page, unless it's the introduction page. As of right now, this Omni is out of print, but a new printing has been announced. I just don't know exactly when yet. Do yourself a favor and pick this book up, because it's like history on a shelf. Remember guys, if you want to support the channel and see it grow, make sure to check that site out right there, where you can pick up my self-published comics and children's books directly from Amazon, starting at only a couple bucks, either digitally or paperback. And there you have it guys, the birth of the Marvel Universe, pretty much, and of superheroes in general. Until next time guys, make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video. Take care.